To all my fellow empaths out there, or people who tend to feel easily overwhelmed, anxious, maybe avoid crowds, this tool, grounding cord, is an absolute game changer. It was a game changer for me to be able to move through the world feeling more empowered, more centered, to be able to respond, not to react. And it's also the foundational tool that I teach other people, whether they're learning to develop their intuitive and psychic abilities, or if they're just learning to have more clarity in life so they can make more aligned decisions for them and not be so murky all the time. A grounding cord is truly the foundational tool to really be able to navigate these different avenues. So today we're going to be talking about what is a grounding cord, why would you want to be able to create one, and then 5 tips on how to work with it. And these are the little nuggets that I've learned through teaching through thousands of sessions to other people and things that I work with myself. Little tidbits that feel helpful, especially for 2025. As you already know, it's a little bit of a wild year. There's a lot of tumultuous energy. It's really volatile. So to be able to ground, game changer here. I'm Hannah Saunders. I'm a psychic medium channel. I work with people around the world to come back home to them. Why are you here? Why are you here on Earth? What are you here to do? I'm here to help support people. Remember that. Come back home into them. So let's dive in. So what is a grounding cord? First, we got to talk about working with energy. Energy for me is just like paint. It depends on what our intention is when we grab that paintbrush of what we do with it. And when we work with energy, we use our intentions to guide the energy. We could create a ball in front of us and we're like, well, we're going to use this ball to collect up old stagnant energy. Or I can create this ball and I can bring in light to heal me. It all depends on what is our intention and how we are working with energy to support our well-being. Okay, so when we are creating a grounding cord, yes, we cannot create or destroy energy, but we can help move it and we can bring it in. And when we're working with a grounding cord, we are using our attention to gather energy and to create a pipeline. I'm quickly just circling my sweet model's root chakra here. Your root chakra is an energetic center. It's a space of safety, security, well-being in your body. It feels really good to me, really supportive to ground from my root chakra. It feels like a great place for people to start and then to explore grounding maybe from other chakras of their body. So using this intention to create this beam of energy, this beam of light, and grounding into the earth. So basically, grounding cord is an anchor. Anchoring you into the earth, anchoring you into something bigger. The second thing, it's a release valve, which is so important, especially as an empath, and kind of having that sponge-like tendency to wherever you go. Just quickly drawing the edge of my model's aura. And as empaths, as you tend to walk through the day, tend to kind of gather up residue. Maybe you just had a conversation with your friend or your mom, kind of picked up some shenanigans. Maybe you just went to a party and it was loud, there was some drama there, kind of picked up some of that stuff. And then all of a sudden there's kind of this murkiness or maybe this heaviness in your field. When you're able to use a grounding cord, you are able to release this energy out of your space, creating more clarity up in that mind field, in that head, and in that vision. So again, it is an anchoring point and it is a release valve for your body, for your aura, or your energetic field around you. So kind of bridging into that of why would you want to be able to use a grounding cord? Kind of coming back to this is when we're carrying around so much other people's energy, our body is processing that as kind of foreign. Our nervous system goes up, we become more anxious, we become kind of more cloudy in the mind space. It's harder to make decisions. There's more reactivity in your field versus truly just responding. And so when you're able to create that grounding cord, and you're able to release out that excess. So you're going to have better nervous system regulation. You're going to have better psychic clarity, also just general discernment of which way do I need to go? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do? And to just really give your body that sense of, I can take a breath. I have space, which, what a concept for empaths. You're used to kind of probably playing small, shrinking your field. So it's super, super helpful for the body, sweet, sweet body, to feel safe. And when you feel safe, Literally anything else is possible. Your upper chakras, your upper parts of you are able to flourish. So again, grounding cord for me is truly one-on-one for empath empowerment and being able to move through the world. And right here, we're just working again with the base of the spine where that root chakra is. And as the root chakra is becoming more stabilized, has more of that stability within it, the other chakras in the body, your sacral, the solar plexus, the place of power, the heart, your throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown, all of these other chakras now have the ability to also stabilize. And when there is greater stability in the body, there's a greater ability to receive. So many people come to me, how do I connect to my higher self? How do I connect with my guides? How do I better intuition? Yada, yada, yada. When the body is moving like this, not stabilized, it's a lot harder to have those receptor sites to hear more subtly, to pick up from the subtle realms, to see those synchronicities, to feel those things. So when you create a stability point and you create that anchor, you create that groundedness, all the corresponding chakras are going to have a way greater potentiality to connect into the subtle, to be able to hear, to be able to have more of that guiding point. Where am I going forward? So it really gives you a better opportunity to continue to stay aligned within you. The thing that I really want to point out is, for me, it's so important to work both with our spirit, energetic bodies, and to work with our physical bodies. And when I'm guiding people of using a grounding cord, I like to phase it, to actually give the physical body time to integrate and to adjust to the energy. A lot of times people just like bulldoze, just like, I want to make these things happen. And as you step more into like your spirituality, into the intuitive field, the body really responds when it feels like it has time. And so what I'm talking about is here, I really guide people just creating this little energetic tether of light, just straight down from that base of the spine all the way down into the earth. And as they feel more anchored or more grounded, really feel that sense of support. Okay, for empaths, it tends to be a little bit of a tricky point of, being supported. Do I trust this? Can I lean into this? And when you feel that, okay, I've got this baby, I got this little tether, then I suggest, okay, let's move this out to the width of your hips. So you have that pillar right underneath you. And letting the physical body adjust. And notice here, take a moment here before you rush into that next place of, how does my body respond? Me personally, as I drop a grounding cord, my body does this gentle breath, which really is my indicator of like, yeah, okay, I'm grounding, yeah, okay, I'm beginning to release. And so once I really feel that sense of connection of my whole body is really feeling that sense of grounded, then I stretch it. Then I stretch it all the way out to the edge of my aura. I personally like to have my aura stretch out 6 to 8 feet and tend to guide other people that way. When we have our auras in close, maybe 2-3 feet, it's almost like having that fence line really close to your house and you're picking up kind of all that chaotic energy. And so you can kind of push out with your intention because you're able to move energy, anyone is. Pushing out that aura, okay, great. And now I'm going to ground. Stretching that whole grounding cord. Now you have like a way bigger dance floor, maybe 6 to 8 feet around you. So again, all that debris, all that clutter, all that energy that's not yours, out the hatchet, out into the earth, and be able to come back home to you. All right, so let's bridge into some of these tips that I've really found that are effective for me personally, and what I've noticed in my clients as well. The thing that feels important besides, taking your time, everyone's different here. If you're just like, great, I'm just going to create my huge pillar of light, great. The thing that feels like such a great kind of north star kind of guiding point, what kind of grounding cord you're going to work with, is asking yourself internally, what feels supportive today? Period. What feels supportive today? A grounding cord is literally energy. Some people maybe see it as color, maybe you see it as like a blue, like, I'm kind of moving through some heavy stuff in my life right now. I want a bit more of that support. That deep blue energy is really coming through. And we're switching to kind of a blue color. Someone may feel really drawn to like trees or waterfalls or mountain and see like actual, mountain helping to ground you. and also helping to ground your whole aura here. We got a whole mountain range. So for me, a grounding cord can be literally anything, a banana peel. It can be pink, sparkly energy. This is where psychic energy work for me is really creative. It's fun. It's you have the energetic authority to work with your body of what feels supportive, what color, what frequency, what texture. And we're going to get into it. And the more you can play with it, the more you can bring that creativity to really like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to have that texture to it. There's more of that sense of belief. There's more of that sense of almost like that buy-in of like, yes, I can feel this. So there's that. And then, bridging into that second point here of these babies take practice. Just like you're not going to go to the gym and expect to do like 50 burpees or 50 pull-ups. You can't expect yourself to be a master grounding cord person and to feel like, wow, yeah, I got it. These babies take some persistence, practice, and just hearing feedback from my clients and students I worked with is that sense of like, oh yeah, after maybe a couple weeks of it, grounding every day, now they're able to like walk through the grocery store and like, oh, yep, where's my grounding? And to be able to check with it. It is a muscle. Energetic work, intuitive development, all these things aren't just let me open up to my gifts. You got to cultivate these babies too. And that is what we're here to do. So practice, persistence is super, super going to help you as well. And the other thing we're going to talk about is with your energetic authority, with really tuning with yourself, you have the ability here to also refresh your grounding cord. And so what we're going to do here, maybe you just, had a conversation with someone in your family, things kind of were a little funky, maybe there's a lot of just kind of dumping from their day, and you really picked up a lot of shenanigans, and you're like, woo, I want to be able to release this and also refresh my grounding cord. And you're like, you know what, maybe I'm going to dump that maybe ruby red grounding cord you had. You can either explode it in your mind or almost see it just releasing out of the field. And then you're like, I want something light. I want something that feels a little bit playful, kind of after some heaviness. I'm going to go ahead and create this massive, beautiful golden grounding cord and refresh. So for me personally, and how I teach students is play with it. Once a day, grounding yourself in the morning. You can check in with it, kind of throughout the day. Not really necessary. You can set the intention of like, this is my grounding cord for the whole day. Maybe check on it once, see what's going on. But in the day, again, if something feels sticky, feels heavy, I need a little refresh, you can literally clear that in your psychic mind or with just that intention. And what would feel supported right now? Okay, let's bring that in and let's switch it. So you have the energetic authority to refresh, reset that grounding cord. And yes, I'm kind of hearing this from my guides, is really give yourself like 3 weeks, 21 days, grounding yourself every day to better understand how you work with this tool, what colors maybe you tend to lean to, what feels supportive. Do you like to ground just the body? Do you like to stretch your full aura? How do you work with it? That is also the thing with psychic intuitive abilities, is it's not linear. Everyone's different with it, and you're going to evolve with your tools. They're going to change. Again, I'm going to try to keep this simple here. So refresh it. Try to give yourself 21 days grounding at least once a day. Refresh it if you can, if that feels supportive, and see how your body feels. Okay, 2 final points here is, again, intention is everything with energy work. Working with energy. Again, talking about the intention, literally like, okay, creating a pillar of light for my body, for my aura, great, but also setting that intention to release anything that is no longer in your highest good, no longer supporting you, and sending it into the earth. Our sweet, precious earth is an incredible alchemist. All this energy, the pain, the grief, maybe some, heaviness that's coming up in your field, you're able to send that down and it's like fuel. The earth is able to alchemize anything into really healing energy. So send that baby down, see what happens, but really use that intention of like, allow this grounding cord to literally be like a waterfall or a vacuum for your physical body, for your aura, the energetic field, and allow the energy to release. So good, so supportive. And again, I suggest practicing in meditation kind of in a quiet place to get used to it. And then as you build up your musculature, bring it with you in the day. Check on it during that meeting. Check on it when you're having dinner with your family. See what's up. All right, last tip. And this is the thing that has changed for me as a teacher and myself is, where do we ground into the earth? Where do we ground into the earth? So the earth, that's the core. There's a different place that I'm calling New World Order or the New World Frequency. And this is actually where I suggest people ground, especially empaths, into here versus just sinking into the core of the earth. And as you're grounding into this kind of New World Order, New World Frequency, I've been watching this baby change over the last year. Over a year ago, I was seeing this almost like this beautiful crystalline energetic grid that was just right above the Earth's core. And over the year, I've been watching it increase and moving forward towards our Earth's crust, where we put our sweet little feet and paws. And it's interesting, it's moving up. And the thing that is a game changer and really different here is when we are grounding, just sinking into like the old core of the earth, sinking into just the earth, whatever in general, la-ti-da. There is so much pain. There is so much grief. There's so much heaviness. Our world is moving through like a massive revolution and evolution right now. And for empaths, light workers, people who are sensitive, when you're just kind of grounding into that, it's just like it's so much harder to tap in. It's so much harder to be in your clarity. It's so much harder to connect to your higher self. In the body, there's literally feels like physical pain, inflammation, just this like excess energy. And so when you're able to ground into the higher energetic grid, the New World Order, higher frequency grid, whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter. Holy moly, there's like this huge change in the body. It's like there's this, I can take a breath. The new world is a place that is higher. It is a place of higher consciousness. It is a place of greater unity. It is being birthed as we're also being birthed into it. And so when you're anchoring into almost like a code that is coming, you're supporting your psyche, your body, your mental space, your soul space into moving into that place. It's almost like when people talk about manifestation, it's like, visualize yourself in that car and then you're going to be able to receive it. Kind of like that energy of like, okay, let me ground into a higher frequency to also support the frequency coming, out of you, to you, whatever. For me, this is the thing to really be aware of, and what has changed over the last year of how to ground, how I teach grounding. And you can simply set the intention of I am wanting to ground into the higher energetic grid of the earth, New World Order. Your spirit, your guides are going to know exactly where it is. And you're going to be able to just sink down, plop into this beautiful energetic grid. I personally see it as this like white grid of light. Everyone's going to sense it differently. But play with it and trust. Intention, again, literally is everything with energy work. So play with this. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments below of using a grounding cord. Let me know. Let me know how it works for you, and we will continue in this grounding series. Again, I'm Hannah Saunders with Fluid Roots Wellness, and it is a joy and honor to be with you here today. Many blessings.